Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I sure did, man. It was a lot of fun.
Tiny sword.
Breadstick.
Matchstick.
A lamppost.
Coin flop.
Enjoyed the food. Let's watch some
No.
Stargate Atlantis.
Stick. A walking stick. I found.
Day of Electricity begins Thanksgiving Day, all weekend long on No Rainer.
My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always there for me. My God, He was, my God, He is, my God is always gonna be. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always.
Do you have any idea how complex your thermal? Okay.
That was my clock on my phone.
It'll look like a charm. Looks like you're accomplishing great things here, Chancellor.
Since the last
Joe Flanagan.
we have worked diligently.
Stargate Atlantis.
Are you not concerned?
Always been one of my favorite
Attention of the Wraith?
TV shows of all
But we
time.
refuse to let that stop us from striving to reach our potential. To do otherwise would simply mean victory for them. However, we currently are working on a viable defense.
Defense? Really? Been here for 2 days before you mentioned it?
I had to learn that you could be trusted.
You're talking about some sort of defensive weapon?
You could call it that. Something that we hope will protect us from the next Wraith coming.
So you're expecting it happening?
Of course. But if the Wraith return as they have historically, they won't be here for at least another 50 years.
50 years, you said. How about that weapon?
Yes, if you'll just come this way.
You haven't told them that we practically woke the Wraith from hibernation, have you? They haven't had the chance. They've been here 2 days. 1.5, really. Major, they're not expecting the Wraith for another 50 years. We have to let them know they can show up at any time now. There's an evil, why don't you tell them? Reminds you of Area 51, doesn't it? Circa 1918. I don't think Area 51 was around 1918, so. Well, the area was. True. I don't think there's a hope in hell these people could have a weapon. Weapons come in all shapes and sizes, Lieutenant.
Major Shepard, I think you'll find this intriguing.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What is it?
Something that we hope will one day make us completely immune to the Wraith.
Stargate Atlantis, people. Joe Flanagan. Rachel. David Hewlett.
According to Chancellor Doran, their drug is still several years away from being finished.
I'd say, given their current level of technology, that could be an understatement. Just because they believe they're close to a breakthrough doesn't mean that they are.
You saw for yourself, their entire civilization is based upon the completion of that goal, Dr. McKay. I would not underestimate them.
Do we even know for certain that the Wraith are an immediate threat?
We can probably bet they don't have 50 years.
Hence, Major Shepard has generously offered our help to the Hoffmans.
Has he?
Look, the The fact is, if they're onto something, maybe we can speed up the process.
Okay, Major, you have a go. But if the drug really is just a pipe dream...
Dr. Beckett's already volunteered to help us find that out.
Oh, he has, huh?
He will.
I mind lending people a hand.
No, of course not. You're a generous man, Carson.
But it's the principle of the thing, isn't it? You can't go and volunteering someone for something without consulting them first. That's not even volunteering, is it? It's being pressed into service. Not to mention the fact that I'm not...
Military, I can't give you orders like that.
No. He just doesn't like going through the Stargate.
It's worse than Dr. McCoy.
Who?
The TV character that Dr. Beckett plays in real life.
Converting a human body into energy and sitting at millions of light years through a wormhole. Bloody insanity.
Come on, how often do you get to travel to an alien planet?
I was already on an alien planet.
Should you be messing with that stuff?
I know what I'm doing, Major, thank you. From the looks of things, they've mastered a few basics: biochemistry, physiology, perhaps even some form of molecular biology. Fairly impressive
It
considering.
is our people's legacy. This room represents hundreds of years of medical knowledge. I am Perna, chief scientist for the project.
John Shepard. Oh, and this is Taylor.
I'm gonna make my bed
And
up.
Ford.
Carson, Beckett, Dr. I mean, call me Carson.
I messed it up
I'm Dr. McKay.
last night sleeping. So, now that I'm looking, now's the
I hope
time
you will
to
find
make
our
it up.
facilities suitable.
Oh, charming. Perfectly charming.
Long ago, this city was once a testament to our imagination, our creative spirit, to endless possibility.
How long ago was that?
It's true that we have been forced to rebuild many times and never to our potential. That is why perfecting the drug is so important. It is more than just a defense against the Wraith. It is our future.
With respect, Chancellor, you cannot prevent the calling it as a fact of existence.
A fact we challenge. We will always search for a way to end the cycle of destruction.
The Wraith will always prevent any race from advancing too far.
You figure you could beat him.
Yes, through knowledge.
Cover's too thick. The cover's wider than my bed. I mean, my bed's a king size, but hey, the cover's wide.
A number of archives like this one are hidden throughout the city. Their existence is known only to a few.
I'm gonna fold this
This is-
cover up here.
Very impressive.
We meticulously preserve the accomplishments of each generation before they're wiped out by the Wraith.
So everything your people ever learned is in here.
And another archive is identical to this one.
In case they destroy one. They're just serious about this.
Standing on the shoulders of our forefathers.
How long have you been working on this Wraith drug?
150 years ago, our scientists were close to creating a viable prototype, only to die before seeing its fruition.
So you're hoping that if this world's no good to them, they're just gonna move on.
The Wraith cannot possibly perceive us as a threat.
And to tell you the truth, I don't know how they would react.
If they choose to wipe you out of existence, you will be helpless.
We cannot hope to control their actions. We can only do what we can to end a cycle that has gone on for far too long.
He's on.
What do you find, directors? Serve the public trust.
Yeah, I like RoboCop. It's
His team
cool.
discovered that this man
22 Kung Fu class. All this without
It was Pharaoh Marlin. Before he died of the last calling, he was one of our most celebrated medical researchers. He was the one who found
There
it.
we go.
Found what?
The key. His journals tell of one man who survived an encounter with the Wraith. Farrell and his team discovered that this man possessed a unique protein, one that enabled him to resist the chemical released by the Wraith to precipitate draining of life from their victims. After painstaking trial and error,
Farrell made a copy of the protein.
he was eventually able to create a prototype of a drug designed to interfere with the Wraith feeding process.
And it worked.
Farrell was killed before the drug could be used to defend Hoff.
And it's been your job. How do you know for certain that this Pharaoh wasn't just embellishing his results? Or for that matter of making them up. I mean, all you have to go on are his notes.
He and his team worked until the last possible moment. They knew the Wraith ships were overhead, and still they worked through the night, and hoping to provide one more insight, one last thread of knowledge, not for themselves, but for the generation that would survive. 10,000 soldiers gave their lives to give them those last few hours. The last words of Farrell's journal are known to all Hoffins.
Now then, my bed's made up.
I meant no disrespect, Panda.
It's all right. More than just his journals survived the colony.
His research materials were safeguarded as well, including carefully preserved Wraith cell samples, which we still use in our work today. Please. See for yourself.
That's incredible. I saw it with my own eyes, Dr. Weir.
Yes, at a petri dish. And we are talking about 150-year-old Wraith cells. I mean, for all we know, they could be immune to the drug by now or come up with defenses against it.
Oh, I don't think so, Doctor. I took the liberty of running a few tests of my own, using cells taken from the Wraith armed major ship I'd brought back from Athos. The results were the same. Near complete resistance. They've definitely got something. Believe me, I'm more surprised than anyone.
So what do you recommend?
And we take their work to the next level. I've informed the Hoffins of our guest in the brig.
You realize what you're asking for?
I do.
Anything I should know about Sergeant?
No, sir, he's been quiet.
Still trying to make you see things?
He's given up on that.
I didn't think he'd last this long.
Hello again, Major Shepard.
Sorry if I woke you. Just came by to see if there's anything you needed. Magazine, fresh towels.
You hide your fear poorly, Major.
You know, we've been having these conversations for a couple of weeks now, and I don't even know your name. You guys do have names, right? Let me guess. Steve?
I am your death. That is all you need to know.
I prefer Steve.
What do you hope to gain from this?
Just trying to bridge the gap between our two cultures, get to know you better. That and try to figure out how to keep your kind from sucking the life out of millions of innocent people.
Even if I told you what you want to know, it would change nothing. You are doomed, as are any humans that stand in our way.
Can't be a nice way to die. Hungry, slow. Knowing your food versus just out of reach.
Why do you keep me there?
I need to know what we're up against. For example, how many of those big hive ships have you got, and where are they?
You have nothing to offer, Major.
If I talk about easing your hunger, Steve,
You would never sacrifice one of your own kind. And yet, it is all that stands between you and the information you seek.
Using living Wraith cells is our only recourse at this juncture. Without them, we have no way of knowing for certain if the drug is actually viable.
You said it worked effectively on the cells of the severed Wraith arm we brought back.
It did. But those were already in a partially decayed state. We need life samples.
And with new samples, you think it's possible to create a prototype?
Given enough time, yes, I do.
He's got a good point. Hoffmans are practically obsessed.
Thank you, Rodney.
I agree, Doctor. But their obsession may become their undoing.
Well, even if they do undo, it would be good for us. I mean, given the choice, wouldn't you want to be immune?
Not if it meant the lives the Wraith might otherwise spare. This drug would only be of value if everyone, everywhere, possessed the same immunity.
There's a thought worth pursuing.
I agree. Major, have you made any progress with your prisoner?
Well, not yet, but he just blinked.
He blinked? What does that mean?
Means he's still holding on, but he's indicated to me that he may break soon.
And he indicated this to you by blinking?
Yes.
No offense, Major, but so far he hasn't told you a thing. For all we know, he could linger this way for months and ultimately will learn nothing.
The Wraith could be on their way to Hoff as we speak. If your prisoner holds the key to the creation of this drug, should we not take advantage of this?
How can we get the sample off him safely?
We still possess the weapons used in his capture. It would be a simple matter of incapacitating him again.
So that's possible.
It's possible.
It's a small finger, a worm. Booking.com.
Hi, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Doctor?
Easy. I mean, you're certain he's
Down, Doc. Do your thing. Pulse looks peaceful, doesn't it?
peaceful. You're out your bloody mind.
I have never seen devices such as these.
The work you've done refining the drug has been good up till now. With all this, we can make it better. From what I can tell, your biggest problem is that the test inoculations failed to show enough of a presence in human cells to be effective.
What we need is a better delivery system.
Exactly. And the best place to start is to recreate the key protein in the serum and work our way up from there. Now, if we can avoid having to re-engineer it from a natural source and make an entirely synthetic version, it should ultimately increase the efficiency.
Such a thing is possible.
Anything's possible if you're willing to give it a go. Come on then, a bald head is soon shaved.
Do you speak differently than the others?
Noticed that, did you? Sorry if I confuse you. Trust me, where I come from, it all makes perfect sense.
What is it like?
Scotland? Oh, I think it's beautiful. But I'm told it's something of an acquired taste.
I meant your world. It must be so peaceful there, knowing that the Wraith will not come.
Oh, you'll be surprised how not peaceful it is. What a spoiled rot now that I think of it.
Oh, you miss it. I'm sorry for inquiring.
Oh, no. Don't we, love?
100% cellular penetration in all 5 test inoculations. Incredible.
There's still a lot of data to be analysed, but the initial results are very promising, I agree.
Dr. Beckett's efforts have advanced the project by decades.
Penner's formula was right on track. It was just a matter of changing its molecular design so it could be better absorbed by the body.
This is an enormous victory for our people, Doctor. I don't know how to thank you.
No need. Of course, it's only a preliminary.
How soon until you can set up the next stage of testing?
You'll have a schedule later today, Chancellor.
Oh, sorry, next stage.
Your report makes it abundantly clear that the project is ready to proceed to its next phase.
We want to test the suit's effectiveness against your prisoner.
Can you support this?
Well, we know for certain he's going to die, so we might as well make good use of him while he's still alive.
You do understand the Geneva Convention prohibits using prisoners for scientific experiments.
No offense, Doc, but had the Wraith attended the Geneva Convention, they would have tried to feed on everyone there.
Beckett's report indicates that we have no idea what the long-term effect of this drug on humans might be.
Well, we know damn well what the long-term effects of Wraith calling are, don't we?
We're talking about putting a human being in the same room as a starving Wraith. And once we start down that road...
What road did you think we were headed down?
Not this one. At least not this fast.
Having spent time with the prisoner, I don't pity him. He's gonna die anyway. This drug could be useful someday.
Someday.
The point is, we don't get a lot of opportunities like this. Do you know how obsessed with this the Hoffmans are? When they found out we had a live Wraith prisoner, he's going to die. I tried to feed him all sorts of live stuff, but apparently there's only one item on his menu.
What about the test subject? If the drug fails...
We're not just grabbing anybody off the street. The test subject is a terminally ill patient who has volunteered himself.
These are not exactly the type of decision I was expecting to make on this expedition. Do it.
For the public trust.
Come on, you're gonna be a bad.
Protect the innocent.
What the hell is that? RoboCop.
Uphold the law.
Never worked in anything else.
All weekend long.
Hi, Steve.
More samples.
I was thinking more along the lines of a field trip. You want sustenance? I want information.
You are incapable of offering such a trade.
You tell me something of value, I let you eat. That's the deal. Take it or leave it.
Very well.
We ready?
Major Shepard and Lieutenant Ford are loading the prisoner into Jumper 2. Sergeant Bates is already on the ground and standing by for the arrival at the rendezvous site.
Jumper 2, this is Weir. What's your status?
Nice and cozy in here, ready to depart.
You're safe, Major.
That's the plan.
Jumper 2 are go for launch.
Roger that.
Dial it up.
Hey man, this isn't supposed to be fun.
Can't explain to me about your illness. I want you to know how sorry I am. I wish there was something I could do for you.
It's my time, Dr. Beckett. I'm at peace with my fate.
I think it's important you know that we may be talking about a less than peaceful ending here.
I've explained to Meryl in great detail what may befall him.
You should also understand that this drug has never worked in anything other than a laboratory simulation. We don't know for certain what will happen.
Even if it doesn't work, you'll learn something of value. How to perfect it in the future?
Possibly. But that's no reason for you to face that creature.
Dr. Beckett, I'm not afraid. No matter what happens, my death will have meaning. Is that not something we all strive for, to die knowing we made a difference? I want to do this. Please don't deny me the chance to help my people.
What do you think?
That it goes against everything I believe in. There's an oath among medical people where I come from. It begins first, do no harm.
Important words, too.
More than words, Granda.
The battle rages at the very threshold of our laboratory now. Those of us working to the last know that these few final hours have been dearly purchased, yet our concentration has not waned. We cannot hope to save ourselves, but we can hope that one last insight, one last revelation before we take our dying breaths may prevent this terrible day from happening again.
Pharaoh's last journal entry.
More than words, Carson.
I understand that. I do. But there are too many unknowns. We need time to determine the possible side effects.
There is no time. Are you so afraid of making a mistake that you can no longer see what we're up against?
This isn't about making mistakes, partner. It's about the end justifying the means. And in our profession, that's a very slippery slope. We have no idea if this will work. We could be sacrificing that man to a monster.
There will be another to take his place.
That's just what I'm afraid of.
They're ready.
Careful, sir. The dinner party's canceled.
What do you want to know?
How many hive ships have become operational since we were first one?
All of them, Major Shepard. First, they will travel their own feeding grounds and strength. We are a patient race, Major. When we have taken our fill and gathered our strength, we will join in force and come for you.
Do you have any idea when that'll be? Morning, afternoon? Open it up.
wants you to remember your...
You are both heroes of the Huff and Puff.
I'll admit it was amazing.
I hope your friends will join us.